Hi, thank you for your interest in Case 23213, an application from Clayton Developments Limited to make changes to the R1 zone of the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Land Use Bylaw. My name is Megan Mond, and I'm the HRM planner assigned to this application. During my presentation, I will provide you with an overview of the proposal, the planning application process, and the role of HRM staff in processing planning applications. After my presentation, the applicant will make their own presentation about the proposal. The purpose of this public engagement is for HRM staff and the applicant to share information about the proposal. More importantly, it's an opportunity for you, the public, to share your feedback on the proposal with us and to ask any questions that you might have about the application and planning process. Please note that feedback provided will inform the process and will form part of the public record. A summary of the responses that we receive will be included in the staff recommendation report that will be presented to Community Council at the end of the application process. My role as the planner assigned to this application is to manage the application process. I am the main contact for the applicant and general public who have questions, comments, or concerns about the proposal. I also draft reports, negotiate with the applicant, and make a recommendation to Community Council. Ultimately, it's Community Council who makes the final decision on whether to approve or refuse this proposal. So as I mentioned, Clayton Developments Limited is the applicant. They have asked to make changes to 2 of the R1 zone requirements in the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Land Use Bylaw. They have asked to reduce the minimum lot size and the minimum frontage requirements for residential lots where both municipal water and sewer services are available. Today, the R1 zone lots with municipal water and sewer services need to be at least 6,000 square feet in size and have 60 feet of street frontage. Clayton is asking to reduce the minimum required lot area to 4,000 square feet and the minimum lot frontage to 40 feet. This table compares the existing R1 zone requirements with the proposed. The requested changes will allow smaller lots to be created. Other requirements, such as the minimum distance a house has to be from property lines and the maximum height of a dwelling, are not changing. The lot coverage, which is the amount of land that can be covered by buildings, will remain at a maximum of 35% of the total lot area. The lands in blue and green on this map are the lands that are affected by this proposal. The R1 zone lands in the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Plan Area with both municipal water and sewer services are all located in Beaver Bank, and they're shown in green on this map. The lands in blue are municipally serviced lands subject to a development agreement where the development agreement reverts back to the R1 zone requirements. I know this map is a little tricky to read on this slide, so a copy of it is available on the application webpage. You can then zoom in on the PDF to look at specific areas. I'll link to the application webpage at the end of my presentation. Clayton has indicated they are specifically interested in having smaller lots for a proposed development off Daisy Drive and Trinity Lane called Carriagewood Estates. It's the area of land marked with a red star. The proposed subdivision development is being reviewed through HRM's subdivision application process and is not part of this application. This application is to change the land use requirements that would apply to any eventual development in Carriagewood Estates and any other land shown in blue and green on this map. There are 3 levels of planning documents in HRM. The highest level is the regional plan. It guides where population growth and investment of services like transit, piped water, and sewer should occur. The second level is community plans. Community plans focus on a specific geographic area such as Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville, and outline where and how different types of development may occur. Some uses may not be permitted in some areas, whereas other uses may only be allowed by going to council for approval and after the community has had a chance to provide feedback. These are called enabled applications. The third level and most detailed planning document is the land use bylaw. The land use bylaw identifies the zoning of the lands and specifies the regulations for developing a property. Any development that can meet the land use bylaw regulations can happen without council approval and without public engagement. I will get into how these documents apply to this application on the next slide. As I mentioned earlier, the lands affected by this application are lands zoned R1 of the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Land Use Bylaw that have both municipal water and sewer services. The R1 zone lands are designated R, which is the residential designation of the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Municipal Planning Strategy. The R designation applies to lands predominantly characterized by single-unit dwelling development that is primarily suburban in character. This application is an enabled planning application, and the policy that is enabling Council to consider it is Policy P-137 of the Beaver Bank, Hammonds Plains, and Upper Sackville Municipal Planning Strategy. Policy P-137 asks Council to consider the following when making a decision to amend the land use bylaw: that the proposal is in conformity with the intent of the municipal planning strategy and the requirements of all other municipal bylaws and regulations, that there is adequate services and infrastructure such as water services, roads, and community facilities, that controls are placed on the proposed development to reduce conflict with any adjacent or nearby land uses by reason of such things as the type of use, the size and lot coverage of buildings, and traffic generation, access, egress to and from the site, and parking. And finally, that the proposed site is suitable in terms of the steepness of grades, soil and geological conditions, location of watercourses, marshes, or bogs, and susceptibility to flooding. This application is also being reviewed against Policy P33. This policy states in summary, it shall be the intention of Council to establish a residential designation. Within this designation, it shall be the intention of Council to support and protect the existing low-density residential environment. This slide provides an overview of the planning application process, and as you can see, we're still early on. After the public engagement period wraps up, the details about the proposed amendments will be refined and a staff report with a policy review and recommendation will be written. The application will then go before Northwest Community Council for first reading. If Council decides they want to consider this application, a public hearing will be scheduled. At the public hearing, members of the public have another opportunity to share their opinions about the proposal. Council will then make a decision about whether to approve or refuse the application. Their decision can be appealed to the Nova Scotia Utility and Review Board within 14 days of their decision. We invite you to share your thoughts about this application by filling out a survey on HRM's Shape Your City webpage. The survey can be found at shapeyourcityhalifax.ca/planning-applications. Please fill out the survey by July 13th, 2021. If you have any questions or would like to get in touch with me, please email me at mondm@halifax.ca or call 902-233-0726. And that concludes staff's presentation. The applicant's presentation will follow. If you haven't already done so, please visit the project webpage by going to halifax.ca/planning and scroll down to case 23213. This webpage has more information about the proposal and a copy of the map of the affected lands. And remember, please fill out the survey and submit any other feedback by July 13th. The applicant, Clayton Developments Limited, will now make their own separate presentation, which will outline their proposal in greater detail.
Thank you for your interest in this application. My name is Stephanie Ma, and I am the planner speaking on behalf of Clayton Developments Limited and Partners about this application. Carriagewood Estates is a new community located just east of Trinity Lane off of Daisy Drive. As described by Planner Megan Maund, we have requested the amendments to the land use bylaw primarily to support an improved approach to building out this project. Although this is not a site-specific amendment, the 88 acres of the Carriagewood Estates property does represent the majority of remaining vacant land zoned R1 in the serviced area of Beaver Bank. And the amendments are anticipated to have very little impact beyond the Carriagewood Estates community due to physical and market constraints. This slide highlights the other sizable vacant properties where the proposed changes would also apply. Zoning enables the area to be developed today with 60-foot wide lots and 270 units as per traffic and sanitary limitations. What you see on the left is the existing approved concept plan for Carriagewood Estates, and the new layout designed to include 40-foot wide lots on the right. The new design has approximately 700 meters less road and has removed 3 cul-de-sacs. Because the same number of units can now be fit in a smaller area, there is a larger amount of open space in the new design. The concept plan on the right would be implemented instead of the left if this application is successful in amending the land use bylaw to allow 40-foot wide lots. Note that no additional units are being requested or are intended to be developed as a result of this application. 14 homes on and around Splinter Court have already been built out to the existing 60-foot wide lot standards. And an additional phase, including 60-foot wide lots extending up Darner Drive, is planned for the near future. Reducing lot frontage in area are simple changes that will provide a lot of benefit. The cost saved by reducing infrastructure allows homes to be brought to market at a significantly lower price point than the 60-foot wide lots. This will better accommodate buyer preferences and local demand. As mentioned, the reduced lot size allows a reduced road length, which translates directly into more undisturbed open space and a larger buffer protecting the existing wetland on the site. The existing homes in the area range significantly in width and style. These images show a variety of widths, heights, proximity to the street, and different spatial relationships between homes. These are 2 examples of homes in our West Bedford community. They are approximately 24 feet wide, which is the size of home that would be built in Carriagewood on a 40-foot wide lot. When we compare the 24-foot wide homes to examples on nearby streets, we can see that homes of the same width and form or smaller exist in the area today. This demonstrates desirability of this size and style of home in the area and shows that this development will match the current low-density character. Local customer preferences and the housing market have changed dramatically since 1999, when the governing land use bylaw was last updated. And the trend toward smaller lots has been prevalent across North America during this time. This amendment will help to right-size development to match market and encourage the construction of more affordable and attainable housing. All in all, this application has the primary goal of being able to provide single-family dwellings at a more affordable cost compared to the 60-foot lots within the Carriagewood Estates development. This can be achieved by reducing street frontage and infrastructure required per unit. This finer-grained streetscape also reduces municipal maintenance costs, and the more compact form has the benefit of opening up more usable and naturalized green space. Thank you for your attention to this presentation, and we look forward to your engagement. Please feel free to reach out to me directly at the phone number or email on the screen with any questions you may have about the project.